of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Welcome to the January, is it the 17th? 2023 meeting. Happy New Year, everyone. Roll call, Mrs. Vaughn.
Chairman, we have all in attendance. We have Andy Witt and Dr. Sid Hill attending virtually.
Great. Thank you so much. And I want to read about electronic attendance, please. It's our policy 1.400. Absent board members may attend a regular or special meeting by electronic means if the member is absent because of work, a family emergency, or the member's military service. If a board member is absent due to military service, he/she may participate electronically as often as he/she is able to do. However, a board member may not participate electronically more than 2 times per year for absences due to work or family emergencies. The following requirements apply to all electronic attendance regardless of the reason for the member's absence. A quorum of the board must be physically present at the meeting in order for any member to attend electronically. We are 7-member board. A quorum is 4, and we definitely meet that. Any member wishing to participate electronically must do so using technology that allows the chair to visually identify the member. I see them. I see Andy and Sid. Thank you. The responsibility for the connection lies with the member wishing to participate electronically. No more than 3 attempts to connect shall be made unless the board chooses to make attempts. So we are all good with that. Thank you, Mrs. Vaughn. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
So moved.
Motion by Pat Welsh. Is there a second? Second by Teresa Lawson. Any discussion? All those in favor, please raise your hand. Opposed? Mrs. Vaughn?
That's all in favor, Chairman.
Thank you so much. Special items, individuals to address the board. Do we have anyone to address the board on an agenda item? Seeing there's no one, we'll move on to student celebrations. Dr. Stevens.
Yes, I'm very excited to celebrate several high school students who are with us this evening. We have 2 that may come in, so I'm going to reorder. I'm going to ask Jackson Banks to come forward first. In October, Tullahoma High School senior Jackson Banks was celebrated as a National Merit Finalist for his performance on the PSAT. Tonight, we are celebrating him for another reason, and that is for achieving a perfect ACT score. What kind of score was it, everyone?
Perfect.
It was indeed. Just to put in perspective how rare that is, only, and I was just telling Jackson this, 0.313% of all test takers nationally earned a perfect score on this year's ACT. Let me help you a little bit more to put this percentage in perspective. Approximately 1.35 million students took the ACT in 2022. So how many scored a perfect? That would be 4,225 students, of which he is one. That is unreal, scoring a perfect score. Woo! Jackson does plan to attend a 4-year university and major in mechanical engineering upon graduation. Let's give him another round of applause. That is just amazing. Now, there's another Tullahoma High School student that I would like to recognize. I'm going to ask Fisher Flowers to come forward. Let me tell you a little bit about Fisher. Fisher is a 14-year-old Tullahoma High School senior. Yes, you heard that right. He is a 14-year-old senior. Last week, Fisher was officially announced as the valedictorian for the class of 2023 with an impressive GPA of 4.74. Upon graduation from Tullahoma High School, Fisher plans to attend either Sewanee or Vanderbilt. Am I getting that right? Okay, exciting to pursue a degree in pre-med with the end goal of being an oral surgeon, yeah? All right, well, there's something else we need to celebrate him for. So Fisher, turn around and because we've got a camera, we want everybody to see who is Fisher Flowers. We are celebrating Fisher on being named a National Rural and Small Town Recognition Award recipient. This award is bestowed upon the best and brightest high school students in America based on his or her performance on the PSAT and other academic factors. Help me congratulate Mr. Fisher Flowers for all of this outstanding achievement. Wow, 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 wow. Okay, now we have a Tullahoma Virtual Academy student that we want to recognize. So come on down. Ariana, Marin, come on down. The Middle Tennessee Regional Student Art Exhibition is Tennessee's most prestigious art show for student artists in our area. This past fall, Tullahoma had 2 of its finest student artists' artwork accepted into the show. Tullahoma Virtual Academy sophomore Ariana Marin's artwork was chosen for the 2nd year in a row. She also is on my Student Advisory Council for TVA. Wonderful young lady. This year, her painting Intentions received 2nd place in the painting division. Let's give her a round of applause. Ariana, we are so proud of you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. And I do want to go ahead and recognize we have another student in that group. She was new to the art exhibit this year. She is a freshman, Angela Yang, unable to be with us this evening. Her artwork, Soft Light, won 1st place in the painting division, which is very exciting. These paintings, their work, was on display at the Parthenon in Nashville from December 8th through January 6th. Both students are members of the National Art Honor Society Tullahoma chapter. Congratulations, ladies, on having your work displayed. We really are proud of you. Great job. And I do have a final young lady to recognize who unfortunately is not with us tonight. This is Ann Duncan, THS Junior. We have recognized her several times for her amazing voice and talent. So let me just tell you very quickly, she has been chosen now to join the National American Choral Directors Association National Women's Choir. It's a lot to say. She will be traveling to in February perform with this national choir. So when you see Anne, you congratulate her on that amazing accomplishment. Thank you.
Wonderful, thank you. And we appreciate you all being here so much. And now you may leave or you may stay for the rest of the meeting. Athletics update, Coach Olive.
Good evening. Tonight, I want to talk to you a little bit about a Better Way Athletics, which is something that our school district, we did it a couple of years ago. We have reinstituted it this year and are doing it a little bit differently with a lot more success. A Better Way Athletics is a program designed to help coaches to understand parents better and for the parents to learn how to deal with their child and the coach in difficult situations. The program is designed to help develop the coach dealing in multiple areas: communication, first parent meeting, preparing for a difficult meeting with an athlete and or parents. Simple suggestions to make a program run more smoothly. The ABWA program presently offers 37 short, 3 to 5 minutes each, training sessions. Roughly half the video sessions are for the parents and half are for the coaches. At Tullahoma this summer, we encouraged our coaches to watch and answer the questions for both the coach and the parent sessions. At our fall sport parent-athlete meeting, we introduced the program and had our parents set up an account with ABWA. We encouraged our parents at this meeting to take 5 minutes a day to complete one session. We met with our winter sports individually and plan to meet with our spring sports on February the 6th. This is our second attempt to utilize this program with our coaches. The first time we attempted to do our entire systems coaching staff. This time we're beginning only with the high school coaching staff. I, in addition, meet monthly for breakfast with the high school head coaches for a 40-minute discussion. We choose one subject to cover, and I choose one subject to cover. So the coaches choose one, and I choose one. We spend most of the time on the subject that they choose. My subject's most of the time something I'm just trying to reinforce. From time to time, I send out reminders to all the coaches to go back and review the sessions. For instance, when we got to the Christmas break, I sent out emails recommending that all of us go back and just refresh ourselves with what we did this past summer, just as a reminder. Earlier this year, when Dr. Stevens asked me for a report, we had 24 out of 37 coaches at the high school that had completed their assignment. We presently have 34 out of 37 that have completed their assignment. I have had several coaches express how a Better Way Athletics has influenced how they have handled meetings with an athlete and or a parent. Others have shared with me about using the program's ideas on how to bring the parents successfully into their program. The parents, on the other hand, is a different matter. We have a tremendous number signed up. I mean, we are one of the top schools at having our parents open an account. We are trying to improve getting our parents to actually go in and look at it. And it's something that I'm working with a Better Way Athletics administrators on. We are using several different techniques right now of trying to encourage our parents. I don't know what the solution is, but we're going to keep searching for that solution. It's not something we're going to give up on right now. We've got the head coaches encouraging the parents again. May have to give out an award to somebody who completes it first or something. I don't know. But we're going to come up with a way to get more buy-in from the parents. I do believe in the program. And the principles of a Better Way Athletics have served time. They are time-served principles. They're simple principles. But in the hustle and bustle of life and coaching life in particular, we forget about them. And that leads to problems. The number one thing we're really pushing right now is communication. Communication with the coaches themselves, because sometimes they can work in the same building and they really don't know each other at all. A lot of times they don't even work in our building. And so it's good to see coaches reaching out and touching base with each other, but we also want them touching base and reaching out weekly to their athletes and to the parents of their athletes. If I'm in an off season, we've told them they could go to every other week. But if I'm in season or I'm back into an off season where I'm training weekly, 3 or 4 days a week, we've asked them to go back and start communicating on a weekly basis. That could be, I'm giving you the schedule for the next week, and I strongly encourage them to watch for the unique things that are happening in their program to share. And an example would be my team set 52 personal best records in the weight room. That's a mass thing to share with all parents. Okay, if I happen to see a child do something that was really unique, and it may be finally be able to lift 100 pounds. Or it could be they helped a child in the cafeteria, or they picked up a piece of trash that nobody else was willing to bend over. That's a personal email that we're asking them to send to a parent. Okay, so that's going on with a Better Way Athletics. I also want you to know that Rachel Mitchell and Christina Petty are bowling at the state championships tomorrow in Smyrna. And very proud of Coach Snipes and his bowling teams. Last but not least, we have a fundraiser going on in the athletic department, trying to replenish funds from having an outstanding athletic year last year. And it's this print right here that we are trying to sell as a fundraiser. And it's a print of the interception that sealed the 21 state championship for Tullahoma High School versus Elizabethton. And we would appreciate any of you encouraging your friends that need a unique gift. There's a lot of people you're trying to figure out, what do I buy them this year? And you don't know, maybe your husband would like to have that hung in his office, or your wife would like to have it hung in her office. I happen to have one hung in my family room. But we would appreciate all support for people that are fans of the Tullahoma Wildcats to help us replenish funds in our program. That's all I have, Chairman.
Office at the high school?
They come to the high school, and you may purchase it through the office at the high school. That's where they're kept, in a vault in the high school. So we are wanting to push this through and wrap it up this semester right here and have that monies restored before we get to July 1 when we start our new financial year.
Great.
But anyway, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Coach Olive. Consent agenda. Do I have a motion to accept the consent agenda as presented? Motion by Gigi Robinson. Is there a second?
Second. Can I back up?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
I want to let everybody know that February 4th, Coach Olive will be inducted into the Tullahoma Sports Hall of Fame. I had to be on local TV about 3 times for that. I got his file, and I could not find a single record. His wife was in there, his children were in there, and nothing else. It was pretty incredible. The only thing he touted was that he was the Bible teacher for the Old Lynn in Kings Cross.
Oh.
I had to get on the Tullahoma website to find out more notations about him, which again tells us what kind of man Coach Olive is.
Very good. Congratulations. Okay, let's finish the consent agenda. Do I have a second? Okay, second by Amy Dodson. Is there, or did you already get that? Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please raise your hand. Opposed? Mrs. Vaughn?
That's all.
Very good. And we are going to go back to student celebrations.
Yes, I'm very excited that one of our art students is here. So I want to remind everyone, the Middle Tennessee Regional Student Art Exhibition is Tennessee's most prestigious art show for student artists in our area. New to this exhibit was Tullahoma High School student Angela Yang. Her artwork, called Soft Light, won first place in the painting division. These paintings were displayed at the Parthenon in Nashville from December 8th through January 6th. We are really proud of you, Angela. Thank you for coming this evening, and keep painting.
Yes, thank you. Congratulations.
And we're going to get a photograph of you.
Thank you. Very good. Thank you. Moving to unfinished business, buildings and grounds. Teresa Lawson?
Well, there is nothing to report at this time. However, we are continuing to make progress on all our projects that we currently have going on. So I'll report back next month with any progress.
Very good. Thank you so much. And welcoming tonight our new Director of Business, Hank Jordan. And he doesn't know how much he has to do at every meeting, does he? So he's giving his first report on the Lee Playground concrete.
All right. Thank
Mr.
you, Madam
Jordan.
Chair. The basketball and outdoor asphalt pad on the Lee Elementary Playground has deteriorated to a point where it needs to be replaced. This has been discussed, and a number of options were reviewed with OLG Engineering and the Building and Grounds Committee. It was settled on replacing the current asphalt pad with a concrete pad of the same dimensions. We opened an invitation to bid that included removing and disposal of the existing asphalt and base, excavating to the proper depth, and then installing necessary 3/4-inch limestone rock, approximately 5,200 square feet of remesh, and 5,200 square feet of 3,500 PSI concrete. We had one response from G.H. Reed Concrete of Manchester in the amount of $38,200. I recommend approval of this bid from G.H. Reed for the work as described above in the amount of $38,200. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, do I have a motion to accept the bid from G.H. Reed Concrete in the amount of $38,200? Motion by Amy Dotson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Teresa Lawson. Any discussion? All those in favor, please raise your hand. Opposed? Mrs. Vaughn?
That's all in favor, Chairman.
Great, thank you very much. West Middle School concrete sidewalks, Mr. Jordan.
Building and Grounds Committee recognized the need for additional sidewalks to allow students access to the building from both Hermitage Drive and Turkey Creek Road. Specifications were created and an invitation to bid was distributed. One response was received from G.H. Reed Concrete of Manchester. G.H. Reed, again, has completed several projects for us, and so we were comfortable with them. But the scope of the work includes, on the Hermitage Drive side, would be adding approximately 150 linear feet of sidewalk to achieve continuous sidewalk access up to west. Topsoil, seeding, and straw work will be included for all disturbed areas. The bidded price to complete this part of the project is $7,432.50. The work on the Turkey Creek Road includes adding approximately 700 linear feet of sidewalk from Turkey Creek Road to achieve continuous sidewalk to the west building. Again, topsoil, seeding, and straw work will be included for all disturbed areas. The bidded price for this part of the project was $34,700. The total bidded project cost will be $42,132.50. I recommend proceeding with this project with G.H. Reed in the amount of $42,132.50.
Very good, thank you. Do I have a motion to accept this bid from G.H. Reed Concrete in the amount of $42,132.50 to complete the sidewalk project at West Middle School?
So moved.
You can tell those maintenance people are all over that. Motion by Pat Welsh. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Gigi Robinson. Any discussion?
Is that, just to clarify, because when I was reading this, that's taking it to the school, is that correct? Because we have the sidewalks, that's just getting them to the school so they're not walking through the grass and stuff, okay.
Yes, very good. Any further discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. Opposed? Mrs. Vaughn?
That's all in favor, Chairman.
Very good, thank you. Yes, those maintenance people, they were all over that. Disciplinary Hearing Authority, Dr. Stevens.
Yes, Board Policy 6.317 states that annually the Director of Schools will recommend a 3-member Discipline Hearing Authority to the Board of Education for approval. The Discipline Hearing Authority conducts hearings for students who have been suspended for more than 10 school days if an appeal has been made. Policy states that at least one member of that committee be a certified or licensed employee. Administration recommends the following 3 individuals: Dr. April Norris, Dr. Shannon Duncan, and Mr. Hank Jordan to serve as the Discipline Hearing Authority. Dr. Norris will continue to serve as the chairperson of the DHA.
Very good. This is an action item.
It is.
So do I have a motion to accept Dr. April Norris, Dr. Shannon Duncan, and Mr. Hank Jordan to serve as the Disciplinary Hearing Authority?
So moved.
Motion by Teresa Lawson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Amy Dotson. Any discussion? All those in favor, please raise your hand. Opposed? Mrs. Vaughn?
That's all in favor, Chairman.
Very good, thank you. Policy update, Gigi Robinson.
Okay, we have policy 6.204, and we're presenting this for action with edits that make this policy align to our practice.
Very good, thank you. Do I have a motion to accept updates to policy 6.204 on a first and final reading?
So move.
Motion by Gigi Robinson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Teresa Lawson. Any discussion? All those in favor, please raise your hand. Opposed? Mrs. Vaughn?
That's all in favor.
Very good, thank you. Moving to new business. 2023-24 budget. Mr. Jordan.
Well, yes, it's that time of year to kind of finally start focusing on the budget for the next school year. I've sent out email requests to our principals and maintenance to just gauge some insight on building level requests. We're going to continue to gather that information over the next couple weeks, and we'll ask questions, analyze, and then we'll sit down and just prioritize where we want to be there. As far as revenue, from a revenue standpoint, we're really probably 2 or 3 months out before we get a firm number from the TISA plan, how it's going to impact us. So, really just kind of focusing on expenditures for the next couple months. That's the status. Yes, ma'am.
Very good, thank you. TISA is going to be a whole different thing, and you get to learn with everybody else, right?
That's right.
All y'all learning together. Maintenance vehicles, Mr. Jordan.
Our maintenance department has 4 vehicles that are the 1996 or older. We've determined that at this point they are in need of replacement. They've done a good job maintaining those for several years. Recommended vehicles to purchase to replace them. We're recommending 2 Ford F-250 regular cab 4x2 trucks. They're equipped with service body attachments. Those cost $50,583 each, or a total of $101,166. Recommending purchasing 1 Ford F-150 regular cab 4x2 truck. And it's also equipped with options for maintenance equipment. That would be $30,939 for that purchase price. And then recommending purchasing 1 Transit 2 Ford 250 mid-roof cargo van with optional equipment and cargo partition in the van for a price of $45,806. So total, they'll be purchasing 4 vehicles for a total of $177,911. The purchase would be facilitated by Ford of Murfreesboro and through the state of Tennessee's vehicle purchase contract. I recommend the approval of purchasing these 4 vehicles at the quoted price of $1,777,911.
Thank you. We'll get a motion first. Do I have a motion to approve the purchase of 4 vehicles for the maintenance department for the quoted price of $177,911?
So moved.
Motion by Amy Dotson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Pat Welsh. Any discussion? I did want to share that we had a finance committee meeting, and Andy Witt and I both wanted to make sure that a local option was not possible because we always want to support local if we can. And due to the contract with the state, other local cannot even come close to the price that the state can offer, and they're not even sure that they could even get the vehicle. So just know that is always looked at by whomever in our school system first.
I appreciate that. That was one of the questions that I had.
Yes, very good. Thank you. Anything else?
We're acknowledging the fact that 26-year-old trucks need to be replaced.
That's amazing, isn't it?
They were great trucks to begin with.
Right, that's
And we will finally have a fleet that has air conditioning in each one.
Wow,
that's
great.
Yeah, that's really something. It's going to be a whole new world for those people. Thank goodness. Okay, so we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please raise your hand. Opposed? Mrs. Vaughn?
That's all in favor.
Very good. Thank you. District report. Dr. Stevens.
Yes, as we celebrated 2 arts students this evening, I'm excited to share that once again, Tullahoma City Schools has been named a Tennessee Arts Academy Arts Partner School System. The arts programming that we offer in Tullahoma City, as you know, is top-notch. It's supported at a high level by each of you as the Board of Education who recognize the importance of this programming for our students in grades K-12. A big shout out to all our arts teachers for creating programming so excellent that it is noticed at the state level. Today, we finished day 2 of what will be a 4-day leadership coaching training for members of our leadership team. Last year, literally 1 year ago at this time, our leadership team did the first couple of days of level 1, and we're now completing level 2, which is entitled Powerful Coaching. This coaching training is simply invaluable to our team. Whether involved in conversations with teachers, staff, parents, students, or others, these skills that they're learning are in play. What's important to note is not every conversation's a coaching conversation, but every conversation uses the skills of committed listening, reflective feedback, powerful paraphrasing, presuming positive intent. And we had tremendous application today. The bulk of our day was in that work. I look forward to seeing the completion of our 4-day training next month. We have a lot to practice and read over the next few weeks. Year 2 of our leadership internship program kicks off this week. I'm very excited. On Thursday, we will welcome our newest 4 interns, and they are Mikey Butner from West Middle School, Bethany McKee from CSS, Pam Parker from Farah, and Nikki Tootin from Bel Air. We're excited to welcome them to this year's internship program. On a side note, our graduate interns have already requested a meeting, so they want to continue their learning. So we're also doing an afternoon with them, and it's all on resume work and truly preparing for that next step. So it's exciting that while they're not in an internship, they're wanting to continue their own internship. So that's great fun. Really proud of that. I know that this will be another wonderful year ahead, and I'm certain you're already looking forward to next fall to hear what on earth do they learn this time around. One of the most important things I can do as a leader of the district is to connect with legislators on topics that directly impact our students, our teachers, and our staff. It's the same for you all. It's really important work that we do in this leadership role. I spend a lot of time advocating for what is best and right for all. Recently, I've attended 3 different legislative breakfast gatherings and have had the opportunity to engage with 10 different legislators, one in Columbia, one at Motlow, and one last Friday, most recently here at Lakewood Country Club, along with our board chair. It's really been a pleasure to visit with legislators during these events and to articulate why we have the thoughts we have related to current law or rule that's out there, especially now when they're in the beginning of their legislative session. As you know, right now, one of the most important pieces of legislation that we've been discussing as a group is related to the 3rd grade retention law that goes into effect this year with this current 3rd grade group. I want to commend Ms. Fanning, who's done some great parent meetings at each of the elementary schools. We have information on our website for families. We're encouraging families to write. I just received another email today where I encouraged a parent to write and to request a meeting to sit down with our representative. Our parents have a powerful voice too, and we want to encourage that everyone use it because everyone's perspective on the law is unique and valuable and helpful to our legislators. So I voiced my concern and our concern about this retention law. I'm hopeful they'll take the concerns into consideration. As you can imagine, after every single meeting, they receive a lengthy email from me where I recap everything that was talked about. So they have that, can grab a hold of it, can ask me questions, anything that they want to follow up on. In February, we have another important gathering, the opportunity to be with TSBA at the Legislative and Legal Institute. That's coming. On hand, we will have Lieutenant Governor and Speaker of the House Randy McNally, Speaker of the House Cameron Sexton, and of course our TSBA attorneys. This will really be valuable time to connect with these legislators and get brought up to speed on where everything is and what's happening in that current time. Again, I just want to take this moment to encourage everyone to use your voice to communicate with our legislators on any topic, but especially the third grade retention law, particularly if you feel strongly about it. Finally, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to our school board. While Tennessee acknowledges School Board Appreciation next week, I want to publicly share what a difference you make for the lives of our children, our staff, and our employees. You give tirelessly of your time. You are at events. You are thinking about the best things for our students. You are looking at policy. You're considering needs of our buildings and our grounds. You're looking at finance. It's so intricate and detailed, the work that you do. And it's all because you care about students, the most priceless commodity we have, who are going to be amazing young people, especially when you're guiding them as a board. So I thank you for your work as a group. Madam Chair.
Thank you. Excellent. To go back and speak about the meetings where Dr. Stevens has attended, and I've attended 2 of those, I want to tell you all how wonderful it is to have Dr. Stevens speaking on behalf of not just Tullahoma City Schools, but public education. I cannot begin to tell you, particularly at the Columbia meeting, because I felt like there was a lot to share and there was little knowledge about the impact that third grade retention is going to have. It's really shocking when you know that people are making decisions and they're trying to make good decisions, but they do not have all the information. Mm-hmm. And Dr. Stevens was the first one. I mean, she was jumped up. I don't even know if they even called on you. They probably didn't. She jumped up and
Like a maintenance committee.
Yes, exactly. Just like you two. She set the tone for the meeting, and you could tell that there was a different level of understanding of why the bill as written, the law as written, is not the best thing for students. The way that she gave the information helped us all have better understanding, and particularly those that have the biggest voice. Because the rest of the entire meeting, which was probably an hour and a half or 2 hours long, everybody referred to what she had said. So people heard it. And it's so important. So we appreciate that so much because we're doing it for Tullahoma City Schools, but the bigger picture is public education. I mean, this is very, very serious for our third graders and for all of our students. So anyhow, I enjoy doing that. I enjoy interacting with the legislators. It can be incredibly frustrating, and they get frustrated with me also. But it's a good thing, and I'm also looking forward to doing our little quick study session tonight with you all. And I just appreciate serving with you all too. You're amazing. You're amazing, and you do great work. So very good.
Quick question on
Yes.
and I'll try to make it short and want you to do the same. The first grade minimum age.
Yes.
Is that still proceeding, or is there something about it that I don't know?
I think right now Representative Sapicki is trying to get that to move forward. TOS is intervening and giving feedback. I would say that is not something we are supportive of. We really want to ensure our children begin kindergarten at a right age. We should not be looking at assessing a kindergartner to determine readiness for first grade and so forth. So the premise of it, it's just not rooted in a healthy idea for young children. We always have to keep in mind what's developmentally appropriate practice. And we also have to realize children evolve and develop over time. It's not a requirement that in this amount of time you have to be here. Some people are get there sooner, some people get there later. So at the moment, it's out there.
You see, I thought maybe it was a side issue that wasn't apparent, but you know, Mr. Flowers is up here as a 14-year-old. By law, he may have had to stand up there as a 19-year-old.
I suspect, and so take it for that it is somewhat connected to the retention law and
That's
trying
right.
to circumvent a different idea to sort of have a similar end, if you will.
And there's going to be a high percentage of seniors that would be TAAA regulations ineligible for any sports. It's really kind of different. I thought there had to be something that don't know all of that.
When you think of it, many times educators will say, as a general rule, because we believe for certain unique individuals, retention may be most appropriate. All right. The preponderance of evidence doesn't indicate it bears out, but for unique individuals, that may be appropriate. What you will hear educators say is, let's retain them when, Ms. Dotson? Right. So I think you see how it's connected a little bit to third grade retention. So now let's make first grade a certain age, and you've got to test in or be a certain age to even get there. It's connected, trying to come at it differently, in my opinion.
I did ask our legislators at the meeting last Friday to please pay attention and to question that, because it is legislation that he is going to bring up, and he is pretty adamant about it. And it is a seven-year-old minimum age requirement or passing a test to enter first grade. And we know the same thing with the third grade retention and everything else. This should be a decision that is based on parents' input, teachers' input, a lot of intervention before that decision, and look at where they are, multiple sources of data. And so I think just all of us paying attention to that and asking our legislators to pay attention and to question it.
Dr. Flowers may need to write somebody a letter.
Reaching out to all of those on the education committees. You've got the lists of everybody in both areas, and just sharing your voice with those individuals. That's very important. We want to, because their job really is focused on education. So even though they represent a particular area in that domain, they're really representing education. So we should be forwarding our voice to those individuals.
And parents can, it's just so important for parents to reach out and contact. And, great information was given at those meetings. And if parents were not able to attend, which some were not, you can get that information, so that you can present it, with the correct information,
So good. Thank you. Very good. Personnel, Dr. Stevens.
Personnel is not as exciting as all this law and legislative stuff we're talking about, but we have personnel changes from December of 2022 and January 2023 provided to you in an attachment this evening.
Very good. Thank you. Monthly financial report, Mr. Jordan.
All right. Thank you again. You have in your packet of financials through December, so that represents half our year. So like I said earlier, we're starting that budget process. But just one item I'd like to point out, you'll start seeing our property tax revenue coming in as counties are finally collecting that. We'll get caught up with that item. Sales tax continues to be strong in Tullahoma, so we're fortunate that's running a little ahead of budget.
Very good. Thank you. And I skipped him, but I wasn't going to forget you. City Board Liaison Report, Alderman Berry.
Happy New Year, first.
Happy New Year.
See you all. Be back. Every time I come to these, I leave the cycle. I have attended the legislative breakfast, and I walked away from it trying to think of a way that we could steal Dr. Stevens.
Easy.
Figure out a share plan or something like that. He's an incredible asset. The city of Tullahoma. She's going to government to speak after. But I walked out of there understanding some of these issues that I did not. it's up to me to sit down and say those things. So that was, the city is going through some changes. We do have a new alderman. The first official meeting will be this coming Monday. We've got some big things happening. Maybe some other changes that we'll hear about before next school board meeting. At that time. I'm looking brief. I attended the Dustin Lynch concert. I was late, and I was standing in line to meet one of the high school students. I'm always anticipating when somebody says, "Are you getting available?"
Yeah.
You never know whether to answer yes or no. I answered yes, and she stopped and asked if it would be okay to talk. And I said, sure. And she followed. I'm still just a high school student. Is that okay? And that kind of hit me, right? Where she did feel that she could reach out and talk to us. We had a great conversation, something that really stuck with me. And one of the initiatives that I'm going to reach out to you about one, want to get more involved with the student government association. We do listening sessions in town halls for adults, but everything that we do in this room, everything we do in our board room, we're constantly saying it's for our students, it's for our future. Here you don't, but I know up there, you don't really involve them. And so, something I'm going to start with the city to listening sessions with the students, middle school, and high school, involved in the process. Make them feel as though you don't need to be scared to reach out to your alderman or your mayor. We're working for you every day as much as we are for adults, and to get their input after we move forward and we're making decisions for them. I think it's important to know what they're doing. So, we're trying to go back and remember 25 years ago when I was good. So I'm going to be reaching out to you, seeing what we can do to get that started, to get more involved. Not what they're watching on television. On the back side. That's all I have.
Well, I have 3 advisory councils, middle school and high school, and I would invite you to attend because they will talk to you very freely.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right. Is there anything else to come before the board? Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion by Gigi Robinson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Teresa Lawson. Any discussion? All those in favor, please raise your hand. Opposed? Mrs. Vaughn?
That's all in favor.
Very good. Meeting is adjourned.